On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, what's Cole so thirsty for?
A safe word. Let's do this.
Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
I'm Liz.
And I swear we know what we're doing. We've done this a few times now.
Oh my God, so many times. So this is a podcast where we talk about the television show Supernatural, which Diana has never seen and I have seen a million times.
Correct. And then we talk about every episode and you share fun lore facts.
Or different things.
And quiz.
Yeah.
Yes. But first we talk about ourselves. So Liz, what have you been up to?
I am overestimating Texas weather because I have my windows open and the AC off and I'm starting to sweat because of this ring light. And now I'm thinking that maybe I should have turned my air conditioner on, but that's okay. I'll just be sweaty, which is pretty normal for Texas. And it's also making me think about yard work and like, is it time for me to invest in buying a lawnmower? And then I found out that they make robot lawnmowers now, and now I'm kind of into it, but I just don't know if they would work at my property. But they
like a Roomba for your yard
with blades, which sounds like a very not great idea.
I mean, true, but
when the robot overlords take over, I don't know if I want them to have self-propelled blades.
No.
So I don't know, and some of them are a lot of money, and then some of them are a lot of money, and I don't know if it's worth a lot of money or it's so confusing.
Lawnmower shopping sucks.
There's too many choices today.
Way too many
with our timeline. Luckily, we're not going to have that problem soon. We just won't be able to afford it at all. So maybe I should buy the robot lawnmower now. Maybe I should buy all the robot lawnmowers now.
Make an army.
Make an army of robot lawnmowers. Dun dun dun. Oh. Why do all these lawnmowers have googly eyes on them?
Oh
my gosh. My lawnmower is totally going to have googly eyes. You know it.
It should.
Yeah, well, so the thing is, though, so I'm looking at today it's 73 degrees where I live, which for Texas is like it's the holy grail of weather. Like, it wasn't too windy. It was just like, it was a perfect fucking day.
Nice. Yeah.
And it happens like once a year. So that makes you be like, I could have a weed eater. I could have a lawnmower. I could do all of this stuff outside myself. No. When like the 363 other days, it's hot as Satan's balls and
or 0 degrees.
Yeah, or just humid as fuck, and it's just, or things are biting me, or there's snakes biting me, or there's just a lot of biting.
Snakes biting you? There's a lot of biting. What is
happening? Well, that's just like what happens if the robot vacuum cleaner lawnmower like hits a snake.
I don't have an answer to that. So I cannot help you there.
So many questions.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I saw like some of them have to be tethered. I think like I don't know if they're all like tethered, but
so they don't escape.
Well, I think it's like you train them like you train the invisible fence, maybe.
Yeah.
So you have like I think you put stakes out and then
like a geofence.
Yeah, and then it learns like where those stakes are, and then it's kind of knows to be tethered between those. The really expensive ones, like will send people out to your house to do that. And I could only imagine them coming out to my house and being like, and then leaving.
like, nah,
we're not doing this. But
that's nice.
But unless if I get a riding a lawnmower, I still have to consider like that hill that I had to consider with a robot lawnmower, right? And so I don't know. It's not that big of a hill, like mass wise, but it's just a steep hill, and so whatever you do has to like go up and get up and over that without killing someone or a dog,
Yeah.
not rolling over would be the good thing.
That's the goal.
But some of the riding lawnmowers seem very excessive. Like, and I think that's a man thing, maybe.
Yeah, we also teeter into tractor world.
But I kind of like the like, I think there's two sets of riding lawnmowers today. This is what I know everyone comes to the Supernatural podcast to learn about. So there is the one that looks kind of like the tractor, right? That, you know, Hank Hill would ride around on, that's got the little wheel and you put your beer on it and you do, you know. And then there's a one that has got like it's got two handles. So like you're pushing and
that's
pulling.
What the city guys. That's what the guys from that work for the city do.
Yeah, there's zero turn ones, which supposedly when you have like a more rugged area like me, like it's supposed to be a better thing. But I think they're excessive.
I've seen them. They rock and roll on those motherfuckers.
I know,
one guy did bust
a
gas line the other day, and it was a lot.
Yeah, I did see somebody riding a John Deere down my street earlier today, and I almost stopped and been like, "So how's that? Do you like that?
Can I have a review, please?
So do you work for the property? Do you just like this? You're a house owner? Like, tell me, like, how did you choose your lawn mowing appliance?"
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, also I've done cybersecurity for a lot of companies that make a lot of tractors and lawn things.
Yeah.
So a lot of them I kind of don't trust to be robots.
Well, you don't buy the robot. I mean, if you don't buy the robot kind, that part doesn't really matter.
I mean, kind of, I don't know. Probably everything has a computer in it now.
That's true.
Probably everything is fucking Wi-Fi in it. Even like that zero turn fucking lawnmower. It's got an access point on it.
Ugh.
Learn how
my oven doesn't need to be on the Wi-Fi. I stand by this.
Putin needs to tell you when your cookies are done. Yeah. So
well, it was cold as fuck here this past weekend, so I didn't do a whole lot.
I mean, we got cold, but it was cold, but it was like do stuff. I got to work in a garage, so it was fine.
Ours was like gray, windy, big storms.
You could have worked in a garage in that.
Ugh. I went to an art show though, an art fair. So
there you go.
I did get out of the house. I got out of the house. I saw one artist at a show, and then I saw a girl I know named Avra Boom, and she did an amazing show at the Kessler Theater. And then I went to the Deep Ellum Arts Fair. I did not go to another show I wanted to go to because it was fucking cold. But yeah, that's my excitement. Pretty laid back in my little world for right this minute. I'm really busy, so I say that.
Yeah, I don't even know I think you're lying, but
it was just I didn't do all the things. I just did some of the things. That's what I was saying.
Okay, you tell yourself that. You tell yourself you were laid back. If that makes you feel better.
I went to the mall and walked around.
Yeah, you did do that.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's talk about an episode.
Well, before that, so Supernatural news. So in that world, Jared Padalecki and Genevieve are going to be hosting is it 20th? Well, and it's not 20th; it's 50th. It's an anniversary thing for Austin City Limits
for ACL. Yeah.
Not for ACL, for Austin City Limits.
Correct.
Those are two very different things.
TV show, the show
Austin City Limits.
City Limits, not the festival.
Yes.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. I think it's on PBS. So you'll check your local listings, and you should be able to watch that.
Yes.
If you'd like to do that.
If you have PBS. If you still, I do have PBS on some streaming apps.
I think we do too. I don't know which.
I have one specifically in order because I was trying to get the one that the Finding Your Roots. I wanted to watch that, so I needed one PBS for that, and then I was trying to watch some documentary for this podcast, and so I have PBS for something else. But yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. So all right, so now we can talk about this episode. Yeah. Sorry, we forgot to talk about that last week. So So this episode, the things they carried, which comes from a collection of short stories of the same name by Tim O'Brien, which chronicle a platoon of American soldiers in the Vietnam War and based on O'Brien's own experiences. So some uplifting shit. And this was season 10, episode 15. It first aired March 18th, 2015, was directed by John Badham and written by Jenny Klein.
All right. And we open with a very dramatic scene. And I say that not like silly dramatic, like, whoa, there's like water dripping. We see some long hair. And we know that we are in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we zoom out to see a young woman hung upside down by her feet, struggling with tape on her mouth. And a dude that looks like he's got like severe scarring of some kind on his skin walks in with a bucket. It has a giant knife. And as she struggles more and more, he crouches down, slits her throat, and drains her blood into the bucket.
Yeah, but as she is struggling, she is doing the world's most awesome fucking core workout. This girl is so fucking badass. Her obliques are going. She is going like right to left, side to side. And as someone who hangs upside down, I would tell you it's much harder to do that upside down than you think. Like, she is just phenomenal. And so even though, unfortunately, he slits her throat, like, she's still a fucking badass.
Yes. And then he licks the blood wound on her neck.
Yeah, that was gross.
It is gross. Ew.
He's just lapping it up. It's not great.
So we cut to the bunker, and we've got Sam trying to pretend he's not researching the Mark of Cain, but he clearly is, and trying to hide it from Dean.
Well, he's like researching. He's looking at an 18th century painting by Josep Vergara, Cain and Abel. But I'm just like, what you studying, like the painting, being like, what is the clue in here? This is what I can learn.
Yeah. It's either way.
So Dean comes in and Sam slaps the laptop closed so fast that Dean assumes it's porn.
Right. And Sam's like, no, and Dean's like, well, it's fine, whatever. But either way, I found a case.
Oh, also, please don't jerk off where we eat. Yeah, he did say that.
He did say that. I was skipping past it.
No, you can't. But at least Dean has standards. And Sam's just like, it's not porn. Dean's like, fine, it's erotica, whatever. So then Dean tells him all about the woman.
The Army private's body found. So she was trained not only in Krav Maga, but also jiu-jitsu, and was found with her organs drained and her bone marrow sucked dry.
Can you drain organs?
I don't know.
I don't feel like that's something you can do. I feel like you can drain blood and you can take organs, but I don't feel like you can drain an organ. Like, I don't think you can drain my liver. You can't drain my liver.
But you can drain your heart.
Well, I mean, you're still draining the blood. You're not, and then you're just squeezing the heart. I mean, but like, can you drain the spleen?
Want what's in the stomach?
You can't drain the stomach.
And the intestines?
Yeah.
Ew. I guess you can drain it. Do you really want to? Yeah, it's weird.
It's a bad choice of words. Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, is it a Rougarou? But it's not a Rougarou. Is it a god? I don't know. Let's like pretend to be feds. That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. But Sam is not. Sam's like, fine. Like, he is not excited.
And he's hemming and hawing, right? Like, he doesn't want to like go. He's trying to find a reason to. Maybe he just wants to nest. Sometimes he's been on the road a lot and he wants to be in the bunker. He wants some time.
I guess. So they get on the road either way and drive through the night. And Sam is still in the car looking back at that site and trying to research Mark of Cain. And Dean calls him out. And he's like, look, we have checked every website twice at this point.
And you're still not looking at porn. Why would Sam be looking at porn in the car? Also on your phone. I think people who look at porn, I'm sorry, no judgment, but a little judgment if you look at porn on your phone. I think it's a little weird. But each his own. But
sitting in the front
especially
seat next
sitting
to
in the
brother.
car next to your brother. And then I'm going to judge the shit out of you. Don't look at porn while you're sitting in the car next to your brother.
Yeah.
And unless this is like a slash fiction thing that's happening. Okay, so moving on. So Dean is just going really dark, right? Like,
well, but I think he also is trying to like he's sharing with Sam how he is coping with the situation. He's like, look, with every case, we reach a point.
Good.
No, it's not. But they also know his situation probably may not have a solution. So he's figured out that how he wants to cope with it for the now. I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much. It's dark, but I also feel like it's proactive in a way. I don't know. So he knows what he wants to do is to work fucking cases. He's like, when we face the truth with a case, even if we don't like it, we know what has to happen. We saw what happened to Kane. Don't like that either, but have to move forward. I'm going to do what I do and what I like to do for as long as I can. And I need you with me.
Yeah, I get that. But also, I feel like the Kane comparison is very different because Kane was a demon or someone who became a demon. But then he also was fine eating his kale and living his thing. So maybe
but away from people.
He was away from people, but I mean, that's not a bad life to live. I mean, you can kind of just hang out in the bunker, Dean. You've got research to do there. Like, make a podcast. So they go, they pull into Fayetteville, right? And because it's Fayetteville, there are soldiers everywhere.
There's a lot of random soldiers just wandering
around, just like, la, 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 this is what we do.
So they go into City Hall, which is where the sheriff's office is, and interrupt a sheriff's birthday party with a cake that was baked by the sheriff's partner. So that's
the cake looks really good.
It does.
And the sheriffs assume they are feds with their fed stench. At least that is what Dean assumes.
Fed stench.
And Sam tells them they're there for Private Jackie. And I don't know why that just sounds like a TV show to me. So we're there for Private Jackie. And the sheriff's like, oh, no, we solved that one. We're good. Yeah. You don't need to be here.
Totally
have some cake.
Solved. Yeah, because have cake because Rick Willis's fingerprints and his dog tags were found all over the place at where her body was, but he's not in custody because he drank a boatload of gasoline and set himself on fire.
This is fine. This is literally the meme, right? Yeah. Like, instead of like a dumpster on fire, it's Rick. And everyone's just like, this is fine. No one's going to do anything else. Problem solved. Would you like some cake? And then Sam just keeps keeping Dean from eating the cake, and it's just mean.
Yeah, why?
Just let Dean have the cake.
Let him have a piece of cake. It's very rude. Very rude, Sam. And why are you not participating in the birthday celebration? Because now you just look like jerks.
You look like dicks. You should be nice. You catch more flies with honey, and they will give you more information and more cake. So once again, this is probably why the AI algorithm thinks this is a podcast about cake. So,
well, but either way, the sheriff's like, well, it's a military town. There's a lot of suicides, and like has written off the suicide of Rick.
Yeah,
which is
it's also fucking depressing. So we leave. Dean.
There's no bite. They verify there's no bite marks on the body because she was killed with a Bowie knife.
Yeah. So nothing was gnawing on her, so we can rule out Rougarou.
Yes. And I do think it's, I hate to laugh at it, but I do think it's entertaining as they walk out that it's how bonkers it is to Molotov cocktail yourself.
Yes. So Dean thinks that self-molotoving is demon possession bonkers, right?
Yeah.
So,
which tracks, I'm just saying.
I think that does sound like something that somebody possessed by a demon would do. I don't think it sounds like somebody not possessed by a demon. I mean, I don't think a normal person likes to swallow gasoline and set themselves on fire.
No.
So they're going to go talk to the wife.
The widow who has a young baby.
Young baby.
And she's obviously, Beth is very sad, obviously, and insists that Rick was really kind, but the deployment changed him. And it's, it's just, she's just not, she doesn't want to sit in there and like deny, but also you can tell that she's like not, like she knows something was wrong. But Sam is asking about mood swings. Dean's asking about smells. And she's like, no, none of that. But he was very, very, very fucking thirsty.
Thirsty for that ass. No, that's not what he was. So they're like, yeah, like how thirsty? He's so thirsty that she caught him drinking bath water, and his skin was so dry that it bled, and immediately want to put lotion on.
I know.
The skin does make you want to hydrate. This episode makes you This episode makes you want to hydrate. So, and she's like, I took him to the VA, and that went like you would think it would go.
They put him on a list. They put him on a list. Gosh, that was just there's a couple like really, really sad like truths in this one where they're like, oh, it's a military town, thus the suicides. Oh, I took him to the doctor to get that dry skin checked out that was obviously like cracking and bleeding, and he was desperately drinking water from a hose. But they put him on a list. Anyways. But she was like, she just kind of assumed that this was like some really, really, really severe PTSD kind of situation.
I mean, maybe. I'd be like, yeah, he came from the sandbox, right? Like,
but she didn't know exactly where.
She didn't know exactly where because it was classified, and they wouldn't let the wives in on it because that is what classified means. As we will learn later during this episode, and maybe some other like people don't understand what that means. No. So yeah, all right. Weird. So, but one other thing before they go, she ran into her friend Gemma, who is married to Kit Burson, who is also on Rick's. I don't have Rick's team, but that's not the Rick.
That's what she said.
Oh, she says Rick's team. Okay, and I was like, and then I was like that. Okay, fine. So she called it that. We called him whatever. But she was like, Kit came back different. So this is also happening.
It might be the same thing. Yeah. So obviously, where's Sam and Dean going to go next? To Gemma's. And we see a lot of photos of Kit in his military uniform, where he is not only wearing an infantry rope on his shoulder as an army soldier, but also has a beard that the infantry would not typically allow. That's my comment. So...
Anyhow,
just saying.
Just things, yeah. So Kit's wife though is just kind of first playing it off, right, and just like, no, things are fine.
No, he's fine. He just takes a minute to get back to himself after deployment. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're just all hanging in. But he went out last night, and he should be home soon. And they're like, wait, so he didn't come home?
So your husband went out and didn't come home, but that's cool, right?
And they're like, so has he been thirsty? And she's like, how did you know?
He's been drink out of the dog bowl thirsty, which I thought was a really good descriptor.
Yeah. It is very good. It's a solid descriptor. You know what that means.
Yeah.
So, so they go outside and as they're leaving, fucking Cole.
Yep. Someone's leaving in the car. There's fucking Cole. And he's back.
Fucking Cole.
It's fucking Cole.
There. Ends up, Cole is best friends with Kit.
Because all military people know each other. And
they kind of do.
Sometimes
a lot of them do. And he's concerned. Gemma called him, and that's that.
Yeah, and he's trying to tell them that he's known Kit forever and he's a good man. And they're there to work a case, and the case is probably Kit.
And he's like, well, now I'm concerned, and I I'm gonna work it with you. I'm gonna go with you. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and first off, like during the scene, it's really great because you have Baby with Dean on one side of the car and Sam like on the passenger side, and then Cole is next to Sam, right? So they had to distance like Cole like far back because Padalecki is so fucking tall, and that he's just a normal sized human being, but just being next to either the two of them, they're like, okay, you need to stand over here.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it looks really great. Anyways, But also, so he wants to help them because he has friends in military intelligence who will clearly don't care about sharing classified intel. They just said this was fucking classified. He was like, I've got friends in military intelligence who will just tell me what the fuck happened in Iraq.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, we don't even know it's Iraq yet, but yeah.
We'll just go into our Discord channel or whatever chat group we're playing in our Call of Duty. There's probably some dude who plays Call of Duty with who's gonna call, and they're just like shooting things up. And he's like, "Hey, bro, so like you're the guy, Kit? Yeah, yeah. So you were like, what happened to him? Like, what you got anything? He's like, oh shit, dog, I got this video. Let me drop it in your email."
But Cole really just wants to make sure that Sam and Dean don't kill Kit. That's his goal. Don't kill Kit.
Which I think is a very reasonable goal. And
they're like, he is a war hero and my best friend. And Dean's like, yeah, I agree. We don't really want to kill him either. So I don't know what to tell you. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but they're also just not that reassuring that they're like, we're not going to kill him.
So like, he might not be Kit anymore.
You just have to prepare yourself that we are likely going to shoot your friend.
Yeah.
So then we go over that to the gas and sip,
where we find out why they're going to have to kill Kit. And Kit looks rough. And he's slamming bottles of water. Now, I am going to say, this store clerk is a little aggressive.
Yeah, some dude that's just store clerks.
Like this, the guy's like drinking a bottle of water. He didn't come
in and start chugging beer, who knows? Right?
Well, he might still pay. Like, you haven't even given him a chance. It's not like he tried to walk out. He might fucking, and this clerk is all mad.
Hoovering ho-hos, right? He is like drinking water and looks like shit. My first question would be, are you okay, sir? Not immediately just like, what the fuck? And then
you can't drink that water without paying for it. First, like, he hasn't even tried to leave.
And then escalating it so fast by smashing the water bottle out of his mouth. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Like, why? Well, but then Kit does take it next level. Because I am going to say that getting a water bottle smashed out of your hand to taking a wine bottle, breaking it on the shelf, and prepping to stab the fucking clerk. We have just... Whoa.
I'm not saying that he didn't, he also took it too far. However, I don't think the appropriate, I'm going to smash this out of your hand just let the man drink the fucking water. Anyways. So
the scene is almost bizarre.
Well, and then the best thing is like also Mark, the other employee, is just standing there with his mouth open, like just like mouth. He's just like, what the fuck? Like, I get
as
paid.
His coworker bleeds out in the water cooler.
I get paid $5 an hour. What the fuck? And so like now his friend, like coworker manager, is just like gushing blood all over the cooler, and Kit's really interested in this now.
Yeah, and Kit's gonna start licking the blood off the floor. Gross.
Yeah, so he's like, Mark finally does something and calls the cops.
Yeah. But we cut to Sammy's Highway Cafe, the best gourmet burger entire highway in the USA.
I would go to Sammy's. I would eat there. I would stop there and eat at Sammy's.
It does. It's a cute little food trailer with like a cute little setup. I was like, oh, that does look adorbs. So Sam, Dean, and Cole are eating. Dean has been researching, but does not found any signs of demons in the area. So Cole's like, cool. Maybe it's not a case at all. Bye.
But hey, I've got this encrypted email from
to my civilian email address.
Which is also from his friend at the MI, which is not a thing that exists. It's not. And then his friend is just like, oh, here's this mission in Iraq. Peace.
Yeah, they went to go on this mission in Iraq to rescue a POW at a cemetery.
And clearly, like, this is not stuff you should be sending in an email to your buddy.
No. And it has footage of them in the cemetery prison, because apparently they were hiding prisons and cemeteries. I don't know.
No, so they say in Iraq, they say some gross things here, but so in Iraq they were using cemeteries as prisons. So
yes.
It's thing, yeah. So, but they also like the video's all night vision. There's a firefight, and so the video is very disturbing.
And then they find this POW, and then the POW attacks both of them.
And
then the video
screams
ends.
at the camera like a rabid goat. And it's just terrifying. And I don't like it.
And the video ends. And apparently the report is that he was, quote, shot by guards.
And the mission failed.
Yeah. But that also doesn't make sense. But whatever. It's fine. So after they watch that, Sam's phone pings because he's set it up to get local alerts. And Cole says, "Is it bad?" And Sam says, "It's bloody." Which now I want to know what that alert is and how Sam knew it was bloody alert already.
That's what the alert said. It just said bloody. Something bloody has happened.
I was like, or it's a Brit. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it could be like, so even though this was 2015, like I was like, yeah, I have an app that has police scanners on it that you can just tell it, like, I want to listen to the Hayes County emergency, like, police scanner, and just like patches. You're patching a dispatch, but you hear what's going on.
Hear it.
So, but yeah, so conceivably is something he could have done, but I don't think it would say it's bloody. But maybe it did. I don't know. So they go to the gas and sip. And this is my thing. Cole was surprised that his friend licked blood off his floor. And I'm just saying, if you have really been friends with this dude, as long as you say you have, and you're both like military brats, like you have seen your friend do worse shit than lick blood off a floor.
I mean, maybe.
I'm just saying, my ride or die. I've seen him do worse shit than lick blood off a floor. I'm just saying, like, you know, like, so anyhow, so the soda jockey is what Dean calls the guy who works in the gas and sip, and I that is an interesting title, and I kind of like it.
Okay,
it goes back to like old fountain soda guys, like soda jockey.
Yeah,
makes me want to ice cream float.
Well, obviously our guy's dead, and they are they're discussing. But Cole's phone rings, and it is Gemma, and she is very, very concerned that whatever happened at Gas and Sip might involve Kit, which is a weird thing to assume. But also, you must know something.
Yeah,
but
I mean, she's already kind of knows like her dude's gone psycho, right. And like.
She said something's gone not right, and he's not in the right mind. You need to save him.
But it's also that sometimes, you know, someone gets described on the news and you're like, oh no, like this when you do realize that someone on the news is someone you know, like, oh shit, that person who drove that car into that house, oh Ernest, what did you do? Mm-hmm. You know, when that shit happens sometimes. I'm not saying I speak from anyways. So Gemma wants him to save Cole, right?
Yeah,
and
Kit. She's like,
I kept getting Kit. I kept writing Cole and Kit.
Gemma wants Cole to save Kit, and says, by the way, when he wanted to be alone, so I was going to go up to his dad's cabin up north. So Cole's like, all right, Sam and Dean, what's your plan? It's not a bullet or a knife. My friend needs help. And Sam's like, well, and Dean's like, is he a monster? I'm gonna have to put him down. That's just the job.
And I just want to like shake
Cole's
them
like,
because you fucking Winchesters, you know that's not the job. You know he's a human being. You haven't even seen him, and I just want to fuck you, shake you, Winchesters.
But it was a trap.
I know
it was a trap because they wanted Cole to bail so they could follow him to go find Kit, which they do. They drop him off. He pretends to go into the house at Gemma's. He doesn't. He gets in the Jeep, drives away, and Sam and Dean have hit around the corner, and they follow him to the cabin. I don't know why. I just feel like I needed.
That's okay. You can have a do there if you want.
I felt like I needed that. So he gets to the cabin. Cole goes in, and it looks super fucking quiet. And Sam and Dean are there too. But Cole is like trying to call out to Kit and that, hey, there's people looking for you, and there's a trail of dead mice and rats and blood on the floor, and it doesn't look good.
Hey, maybe that's what's happening at my mom's house. So
and then Cole's like, hey, this is bad. It's either me or them though. And Kit's coughing and he looks terrible, and he says, I'm sorry, I can't stop. And then he tackles Cole, and he's going to vomit a worm into Cole's mouth. But Sam and Dean have machetes, and they're there.
Yeah, but it's still really gross. There's a fucking worm. Fucking worm coming out.
He's gonna vomit a worm into Cole's mouth. It was so gross. I had to pause rewind like 4 times and made Babe watch it. I was like,
you made him watch it. That's so mean.
I was like, it's fucking gross.
It's so gross, especially because it's in the mouth. Like I think it's worse because it's like coming out of the throat. And it's just,
so gross.
Yeah. So one of the worms get killed by Dean,
but one goes in Cole's mouth.
Yep. And Kit runs away.
Yeah. So Cole's got a worm in him. Kit escapes. And Sam's like, hey, Cole, you need to stay calm. We're going to get it out of you. And Cole's like, I can feel it moving. And I'm like, it's even worse.
It is worse. It's so much worse.
So
I would just cut my stomach open and take it out. I'm sorry.
Why don't they do that?
Why don't they Heimlich it? Heimlich. Why don't they Heimlich him?
I don't know, like Heimlich it or like do a little like extraction surgery, or can you like drinkable? Remember like when they would like give people like a whole lot of charcoal to make them like, or
stick a feather down his throat, like make him throw up, take some Ipecac.
Exactly, like something like make you. Can I go get my stomach pumped?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of options we have not considered here to get things out of something that's inside of you. So, so they're still gagging on that,
and Dean calls out Cole for being a dumbass for going on this mission on his own, but Cole's like, well, it's better than letting Machete Brothers cut his head off. So, anyways, Dean's like, well, now you're choking on a Kongworm.
A conworm. And so, or it's freakish cousins. And he's like, Cole's like, what, you know this? You know how to kill it? And like, well, you can headshot the person it's in so the worms crawls out and we can stomp it, or electrocution worked last time. So last time we talked about this, we first met the conworm in season 6, episode 16, and then there were none, which we talked about in May of 2023. What can you remember from May of 2023? Let's find out, shall we? All right, number 1. What or who created the original conworm?
Oh, I feel like I can remember, but I can't remember.
Here's a hint. The conworm was created after they escaped from purgatory.
Yeah, so it was Leviathan.
No, it was Eve.
No, Eve. Damn it. That's
the mother of Leviathan. The mother of all monsters.
Of monsters. Damn it.
All right, number 2. Besides Sam and Dean, there is another hunter pair stuck with them in the cannery. What hunter duo was there?
It was a chick.
No.
No chicks?
No, it was Bobby and Rufus. It was so far from being a chick.
Rufus. Never mind. I thought I was just envisioning Rufus too, but I was trying to think. I thought for some reason I was going to go to Joe. But anyways, no.
No. It's a post-show.
Sorry. I'm going to be really bad.
Yeah.
This is a bad one. I can remember this episode. I knew you were going to do this.
I know.
Should have.
You just never check.
I never do.
I keep notes. All right, number 3.
I just suffer.
Yep. Number 3. I told you about the world's most metal cryptid. It is called the Mongolian wetworm.
Mongolian. Oh, I know what you're talking about too. I don't remember. Bloodworm.
Deathworm. The Mongolian deathworm. All right, so the question about the Mongolian deathworm. Does it A, spit venom, B, have spikes on both ends, C, send electric shocks, or D, all of the above?
All of the above.
That is correct. You've got one. All right.
Yay!
Number 5. During this episode, Sam showed you can kill the conworm by shooting the host in the head. When he shot which family member?
It was that was a female, right? That was why it threw me off.
No, it was Samuel.
Fuck.
It was his
grandfather. There was a chick in that episode, or
no chicks. There are no women at all, as far as I know, in this episode.
Damn, my brain is doing something.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. All right, number 6. Rufus dies in this episode. How? Right. Dean shoots him, Samuel shoots him, Sam stabs him, or Bobby stabs him?
Bobby stabbed him.
That is correct. Bobby stabbed Rufus while he was possessed by the con worm.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7. During this episode, this is the last question, I also told you about booby traps. What theoretically are booby traps named after?
Damn it. It was... I know it, and I just can't. I got nothing today. My brain's mush. There we go.
So it was because sailors used traps to try and catch the booby bird, a bird that was named that because it is so dumb.
Yeah.
The boobies.
Not my day for quizzes.
It is not. It is not. Now you have to go back, and it was like your punishment is you have to watch that episode. I'm not going to watch that episode again. It's very traumatizing. It's very traumatizing.
That's why I didn't watch it again.
Okay. All right. So Cole wants to be electrocuted.
Yeah. And so Sam's going to go fucking look for Kit while Dean sits and electrocutes Cole. This seems like a bad plan. But that's just me. So either way, Dean's like, it's going to hurt. And Cole's like, I've got a wife, a kid, and an upside down mortgage. Whatever it takes, Dino. Because he likes to call them nicknames this whole episode.
He really gets into Dino.
Yeah. So they have 2 car batteries. And Dean's like, yeah, last time there was mind control components. At least we don't have to worry about that. But here we go. And Cole wants to pontificate. He's like, so y'all just run around saving people from things that they can't even imagine, and nobody notices that you do this. And he's like, at least we get an award or medal in the army. And Dean's like, yeah, no, that's just what we do. Just what we do. Time to shock the fuck out of you, Cole.
Yeah. So he's got these jumper cables, and it's kind of hot when he sparks them together. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it just kind of like, I don't know, like this is sexy. So then Cole then sets himself back in his chair with a spoon in his mouth, and then Dean just goes to town. And then you could see on Cole's arm in the world's worst fucking Curly's Q.
Oh, so bad.
Terrible script. That is on the cover of some 8-year-old girl's notebook. Bad. What is this fucking script? What? Oh God! It says strength to change.
It's not a good tattoo.
No, this is but you can see it while he's getting zapped. It is like, zap him on that tattoo so we can get rid of it.
Maybe he'll accidentally fuck it up. So
just burn, bring it to him there, burn that shit off. Transfer the mark of Cain to Cole so we can get rid of that fucking tattoo.
New tattoo removal methods. Mark of Cain transfer. So bad. Well, there's no worm coming out of Cole's ears, so they try again, and they go longer.
I want to ride that lightning.
Oh, my gosh. And Cole's like, no, keep going. So they do it again, and Dean's like, this might kill you, but I'm going to do it anyways. But I'm not going to watch, so I'm not going to be able to tell when you go unconscious.
It's better that way. For me.
He's like, this is too hard to watch. I'm not going to watch. Hope you don't die. It's... so ridiculous.
What's your safe word?
Right? He has beat on his chest to make him recover. And Cole's like, again. And Dean's like, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. So
it's gotta smell real bad too, because he's doing it on his arm. So that had to be all the arm hair burning off smell.
Well, Dean calls Sam and said the worm is a no-show. Sparky struck out.
So maybe it is another species, right? So maybe it's not exactly the same. So cool. Maybe there's more than one kind of these fucking disgusting worms that can just get in people and do different things. That's awesome. I love this. So
for some reason, Sam is going to Kit's just in case he shows up there. And Cole is like, so this is what being in over your head looks like. I'm thirsty already. So he's like, I want water, and then I want blood, and I don't know. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Maybe if you dry out, you can create a hostile environment for this parasite. Well, more than you already are.
Ha ha ha. He is a
Already
hostile
are.
environment. So, but yeah, okay, all right. So we make a hostile environment and the world will want to go. So let's go to rapid dehydration.
Big fan. It was good dialogue. I was amused. And so they decide to make a sweat lodge in the cabin.
Yeah. And then we go to Gemma's, and Gemma's following flowers, and it's not like somebody left her like pretty flowers. Like, no, it's because Kit dumped them out to get to the water in the bottom of the vase because he couldn't get to the sink.
I know, it's so weird. Like the sink was right there. He had to walk past the sink.
Okay.
Past the sink. And he looks terrible.
He does not look good. He does. He needs some moisturizer. And Gemma is just like, "Hey, bud, baby, like, let's fix you.
What you doing?" Also, this episode was really funny because I did definitely see a sticker this weekend on the bathroom at 3 Links that said, quote, "Drink your water, you dehydrated bitch." So there you go. Appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's like, "We're gonna fix this," but then Kit grabs her by the throat. That's not good.
That's not good.
And he says, "I can't stop," again. And he tries to put a worm in her throat, but Sam's there now and he breaks the vase on Kit's head.
Well, and one thing too, like during like the worm to worm thing that's happening here, like, so then are they trying to make is it another worm that they're trying to add more worms, or are they like, is that the one
worm? Transferring it, or is it spreading it?
Because the first con worm was a transfer worm, right? But like when they're out, when Cole got his down his throat, there was 2 worms, right?
Yeah, I think it's a spread worm, not a transfer worm.
I like our very scientific classification of these.
Yeah, transfer
the
versus
versus spread worm. So we go back to the cabin and the sauna is happening. And it looks still delightful.
He is. And yeah, it's Sam's still trying to talk, like Sam's talking to Dean on the phone and Kit is tied up and Sam's like, "Look, there's only one way to end it."
He seems very eager to shoot him in the head. And I feel like there's more than one way to end this, as we're proving, like with the sweatshop thing. So slow your roll, Sam.
We've got a plan. Yeah. And so it's just super weird. And then Sam is trying to explain to Gemma that something happened on the deployment to Kit, and there's now something inside Kit that has made him a monster and has changed him. And Gemma's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Right? Like, who are you? Why? Why are you here?
What are you talking about?
All right. So then we go back to this like awesome sweat lodge that I think like people would pay a lot of money to go to.
A lot of money. And Cole's skin looks like shit, and Dean is just sipping a bottle of water, which just seems rude.
Cole's also been eye fucking, like he starts eye fucking that water bottle, and it becomes his new like thing.
But like, why would you like Dean?
Well, at least he didn't have like a Stanley cup.
But still, like, come on now.
The straw, like just sipping.
Can you like just turn around and take a little sip and like put it away so it's not like visible? It just
nope. He's like, "Bitch, watch me drink my water." And then Cole's like, "Is this what happens? Like what my dad felt like when he turned? Like I don't know what your dad felt like."
He's like, "He wasn't my dad anymore." It's very sad. He's like, "If I go down the same road, do me in too.
Do that to me, Dean. And Dean will not give it to you. But you're going to fight. And you're going to fight harder than you ever have. Now watch me drink this fucking water."
Yeah, Dean wants him to fight so hard.
And then, "Dina, will you do me the honor of tying me to this chair?" "Yes, please." That's not what's happening here. No.
Ew. Because as soon as Dean goes to tie him to the chair,
Cole loves water so much.
Cole hits the bottle of water. Hits Dean and goes for the bottle of water.
Water. And Dean's like, "I have a gun." What? He went for water. Why do you have a gun out?
You know why?
It's too far. It's too far. He just went for some water. You don't need to shoot him.
Yeah, well, that's the worm talking. But that's the worm talking.
But you can't like the worm's not going to come out because you have a gun on it. It's not afraid of your gun.
It might try to get in Dean next. Ugh. So, and Dean's trying to talk Cole down though. And Cole's like, nah, because all I can think is I want to slice open your wrists and drink you like a fountain.
Baby. Oh, what's that safe word again? Am I a monster? Huh. So then they go to Gemma's and you're a hunter and what now? What's up with Kit?
WTF. I don't care what you say he is. But in the meantime, Kit's escaped. So it doesn't really fucking matter. And the power goes out, which is weird.
Yeah. Like
how does that happen?
I think he cuts the power. Like he knows where the breaker box is and somewhere in his mind.
But instead of drinking water, he went off and.
Yes. Instead of drinking water, he went to go cut the breaker. And they also flashed on something that looks kind of like a stripper pole. And I was like, but is there a stripper pole in their house?
No, it's what they were tied to. It's a really weird, like, pole. It's like a super, like, 70s, like, support beam in the kitchen, I think, which doesn't match the rest of the house. It was a very odd.
Okay. Well, she also has very 70s appliances because I do have a note about how her appliances work. They all look very old. Well, and then there's also this very weird sound that's like a ticking that I don't like.
I didn't notice.
It was like a it was very unpleasant. I can't believe you did not notice that. So then Kate comes in and he grabs Gemma, which Sam jumps in, the gun goes off, they fight, the phone rings.
There's a struggle. And then there's a struggle for the gun. The phone's ringing, and then the Dean's calling, and Cole's attacking Dean.
Well, Cole flies at Dean like a Lost Boy vampire, and he's just like, and just
he does. And Dean gets his gun onto Cole's throat, and Dean flips Cole over, and Cole is puking up green goo with a worm in it.
Oh God.
But the green goo is new. There's not green goo in the other worm bottle.
I don't know. It's gross. Like I don't want to see it. And then he kills it. And it's, oh God, go away. Like it looks like that centipede I saw on my floor once, which frankly wasn't at this house. It was the same.
Well, Dean calls Sam. Good news. We did it. The sweat lodge worked. But Sam's all
too late. We killed him.
Because Kit is dead. And Gemma is cradling her dead husband.
Yeah, this is not good.
It's sad. It's very sad. So I am unclear as to whether Sam or her did it because
Sam
they say okay, because he was on top of Sam, but they made it sound like
later that's a story that Gemma's gonna have to tell because Sam wasn't there. So
got it. So Cole leaves the cabin. Sam wishes it hadn't ended that way. But Cole knows what happened. Gemma told him everything, and Sam protected Gemma from Kit. So.
And then Cole says, I guess I've seen it all now. The fuck? Like, I mean, dude, like, you know, like, you think, like, you've seen two things, and you've seen, what the fuck? And they're like, go away. Just go home. Go home, Cole.
Go back to your family, bro. It's fine. And he thanks Dean, but he hopes he doesn't see them again, which is fair.
This is fair. Bye, Cole. Bye. Go away. We don't want to see you anymore. So Cole leaves.
And Sam looks sad. So Dean tells Sam that he shouldn't blame himself for what happened to Kit. And Sam's like, I just feel crappy. I just really tried and I couldn't save this one. And Dean says, sometimes a good guy still dies.
And that is fucking depressing. And then Sam's like, oh shit, are you talking about yourself? Oh no, Dean, you okay? Are you okay? Oh no.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about this cast because obviously I want to talk about Gemma, and then we'll talk about the episode, and there's like one little after thing too about this episode too. So, okay, cast people.
Casting couch. It's the casting couch. Were they on that show that time with that guy?
All right, so this week's cast is Gemma is played by Michelle Morgan. And she's been in episodes of L Word, Good Doctor, Batwoman, Tracker, Virgin River, The Imperfects, and has this reoccurring character named Samantha/Lou in Heartland.
So she's a main character in Heartland,
Yeah.
which is like the world's most wholesome horse show where the horse whisperer teaches horses to dance. And frankly, like that show is so stupid and wholesome, but horses dance.
It's fun.
So I just, it's worth it for watching horses dance. So.
Pretty horses dancing. Well, Kit was played by Richard DeClercq. He's been in one other episode of Supernatural. He has been in episodes of 4400, Sanctuary, Designated Survivor, Tracker, and Twisted Metal. And then he was a character named Taxi in the movie CBGB. Beth, the widow, was played by Helena Marie, and she's been in episodes of Suits and The Good Doctor. And our Sheriff Corcoran was played by Peter Anderson. He's been in episodes of X-Files, Man in the High Castle a couple of times, and was Tom in the movie The Golden Seal.
And the role of Cake was played by Cake. It was chocolate.
Oh, come on.
With lots of chocolate, like I had chocolate buttercream icing on it, with a rounding of green icing that Dean stuck his finger in. So, besides the cake, what did you think about this episode?
I think I was annoyed when Cole showed up because I think we have similar feelings about Cole. I think the worm was effing disgusting. I do think it did a good job at propelling the storyline of Dean coping / not coping with his Mark of Cain.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. I mean, there was a monster, but why we had to bring back the worm?
It's a gross monster.
We didn't need to bring back that worm. I don't think so. Like, it's gross. It's gross. That's just what I think about this episode. It's gross. It's gross. It does. I mean, it makes you like Cole more, or at least
it makes. I kind of like hope this is the end of Cole, but I kind of like leaving Cole on a more.
I believe this is no spoilers. I believe this is the end of Cole.
But leaving him on a better note than a note that
it's better than it was before, and I think they had to put him through the ringer, and you got sympathy for him, and he did some use. He did not. It was kind of useless.
He had some character development for him.
Yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, fucking bye, Cole.
Still needs a safe word.
What is Cole's safe word?
Oh man, that's all I got.
All right, so I just one of the things. This is from the Supernatural wiki. I just thought this was good to know. So after the episode, writer Jenny Klein tweeted, #Supernatural family. There are families who need our help, brave men and women who face struggle when returning from military service. Super proud of my cousin, Air Force pilot @Viper_Poison. He recommended a few veterans charities. Please donate if you can to Fisher House Foundation and Disabled American Veterans Charitable Service Trust. Neither of those have been vetted by Devil's Trap Podcast. That was recommended by Jenny. And then Jared also tweeted that part of the proceeds of his Always Keep Fighting would go to Wounded Warriors. And Jared had organized for his campaign to be extended for 24 hours. So it was still on during the broadcast of this episode. And when it finished shortly after, 46,436 t-shirts were sold.
Oh, wow.
Which I think is impressive. And I think also another interesting point of this that we kind of didn't really touch on, that also underlying story too of the PTSD storyline that was going through it, which I think is obviously an important topic. And I think putting it into this context is an interesting way to do it, right? As opposed to the normal, I would say this is the normal PTSD, but the trope of soldier comes back, soldier gets drunk, soldier takes people hostage. This was almost like soldier, like it's completely out of soldier's hands because it's completely, and I think it makes it, I want to be more empathetic, but really puts it into perspective, like how out of control that situation is. That but putting it in the metaphor of this disgusting worm. But I think is an interesting way to carry that to tell that story.
Yeah, I agree. I agree for sure.
On the
important.
Yep. So
But even though they fucked up with classification,
they know they're always going to fuck up.
I know,
they're going to
I
fuck
know.
up. They're going to fuck up at law enforcement. Or fuck up, anything.
I know.
And they're going to fuck up sending an encrypted email. So,
I mean,
you
that's
should
just
encrypt
like
your
Sam's the greatest
emails.
hacker ever.
Encrypt your emails. Go look at Proton. Gets free. Anyways, all right. On that note, anything else? All right. Cheers, sir.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Be a Dick production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Going up to the spirit in the skies. That's where